I grew up in the quite traditional Chinese family, and my brothers and my sister, including my mom, they are quite interested in experimenting spiritual thing in different temple, different practices and things like that. When I was a little boy, I did have some spiritual experiences because of what they did. And around the time also, I seen, at one time I also see a ghost that my mom has to go and do some prayer to. From very young, I was exposed to all these things, and then also quite interested in religion. This campaign called I Found It, people in the 50s who more or less in 60 will know what it is. And then I received a call from my church because they have all these different people to call. And then asked me to go for a Bible study. So that one is the Anglican church near my house in Cheras. So I just went, and from there I was exposed to Christianity. I started attending when I was about 14, and then finally I got baptized when I was 16. So I left and I went over to the US, and I was still very, very active in church in the US. I was quite exposed to different type of Protestant Christianity denominations. But at the end of the day, I still got very confused because I was not settled. I just don't feel at home. I don't fit in. After I graduated from my first degree, my bachelor, I decided I'm going to stay back. I want to go to a seminary to study. But towards the end, I decided to come back. When I graduated, I decided to come back to Malaysia. And that's when I began to start really questioning, what do I really believe? That opened me up to start investigating. And then, of course, there are other incidents that happened. Then I just stopped going to church all over. But I never thought of coming to the Catholic Church. Eventually, I started is when I met my godma here, current godma, who was a Catholic. There was the first friend that I made who was a Catholic, and she exposed me to different people, different activity in the Catholic Church. I felt very comfortable on that. But what actually happened is with my mom, because my mom was living in this Seri Seronok, and she was old, and she got ill as years passed by. Behind the place that is the statue of Mary, and at the time I never really go to church, except once a while I would attend the mass. At one time I was very desperate in one sense. I just go to Mary, I just say, I don't believe in you, but since you are here, can you just help my mom? So the next day she got better. Then I say, okay, I need to explore this. And then, so every time when my mom got a little bit ill, then I would go to her, and then also I begin to lit a white candle, and put it there when I visit my mom. It is only when I went and watched The Passion of the Christ, Mary became very real to me. And I actually saw her from a very different light. So that's when I began to explore. I struggled with her because it was so difficult, because it was like all my life I was told not to pray to her because she is some pagan goddess that deceive Christians to pray. And it was in one of the retreats, and also other retreats, that I kind of resolved my issues with Mary, and her presence was quite strong for the 2 years that I was struggling with her in that. So that's when I started attending Catholic Mass in that sense. And then my mom passed away, and that's where also Mary has given me a lot of comfort, because I lost a mom, and then I found another mom in that sense. So basically, I felt the presence of God very, very strong every time I attend the Mass for a while, for a long time. Okay. In fact, in one period of time, every time I come to Mass, I start crying. Every time, never miss, I would start crying. I don't know why, but my concept is very confusing. I will always describe that it's like God picked me up and threw me in an ocean. And I was just floating. But the ocean is God. It does not mean that I left. So when I joined the Catholic Church that time after the RCIA, when I was still in RCIA, I still was like that. The defining moment is after I got confirmed in the church, and when we take group photo, Father Paulino was there and see something. I just look at the church. I say, this is it. Just in me, I just settle down. For some reason, I cannot explain why. I say, this is it. This is where I belong. I remember one priest that I went to when retreat, he said the kiss of God. I think we need that to be in the faith. That is more important, is the inner personal experience of God. But also, on the other hand, is that you also need to desire it. For me, why am I here is not because of my own doing. Anything and everything can go wrong in my life, you know. And I can just left the faith and go and become whatever, totally non-religious person or anything, but yet I'm here. Why? I don't think it's because I'm especially good and smart. It's the grace of God.